So we're gonna be reacting to how the entire internet turned on Duolingo overnight by supreme value.
Education app. Excuse me?
Come with me to get a BBL.
What?
Big butt, big butt.
I did it.
They don't say congratulations, but you know they the fans.
You would have never known Duolingo was an education platform based on their social media, hopping on every pop culture trend with their mascot Duo completely unhinged, skyrocketed their online presence, which translated to enormous increases in monthly active users and revenue. Not only did Duo become a beloved icon, Duolingo was easily demolishing their competition, but it was one decision through an email that would completely destroy their reputation overnight, causing their followers and stocks to tank and Duolingo to wipe all of their social media. How did this all happen?
Why would they do that?
Nearly every single person on planet Earth with any online account has done free labor for the founder of Duolingo, Luis Von, through CAPTCHA. You might have thought this was just to verify that you were human, but what you didn't know is that you were one of millions of people digitizing old books for companies that paid Von thousands of dollars for this service. That's 9,000 IQ, what the heck? But he ended up selling that program to Google in pursuit of bringing education to poorer countries.
I decided I wanted to do something that would give equal access to education to everyone.
For the next 5 years, he launched the Duolingo app, which would make learning language accessible to anyone as long as they had a smartphone for completely free. But not only was it free, Von made learning fun. Von would create leaderboards so that you would compete with your friends and make Duolingo more like a game, but a meaningful one that would help you learn a language. On top of that, he implemented streaks so that you could see the amount of days you completed one of your lessons in a
Keeping a streak going is one of the smartest things because, dude, for me, I did not want to stop learning just because I want to keep my streak going. Just because every day we'll get bombarded with notifications from Duolingo, emails from Duolingo. These guys were very persistent to keep you on the app to learn a new language. And the thing is that for the notifications, it wasn't like, oh, you missed one. It was more like, where are you? Or we're breaking up type of notification from Duolingo.
row. He got homies hooked on learning though. People were obsessed with keeping their streaks alive.
In the case of Duolingo, we have over 3 million daily active users that have a streak longer than 365.
Vaughn also brilliantly understood the psychology of users and placed strategic notifications that would get users back on the app. They would start to use Duo, their logo owl, as a character to hunt you down to get your lessons done in the app.
If you don't use Duolingo for 7 days, we stop sending you notifications. We started sending this notification to people saying, hey, these reminders don't seem to be working. We'll stop sending them for now. You know what people do when they get this notification? They come back.
It was pure genius. As the user base continued to increase, Duolingo transitioned to have a paid subscription, but still had a free version with ads, which not only made for a more sustainable business model, but it could also level the wealth distribution. By 2021, Duolingo was at the top of the education tech space, at a net worth of $5 billion and 40 million monthly active users, but somehow they would take it to a whole nother level. Duolingo decided to double down on making Duo a character, not just in the app, but also as a mascot in real life. Duo would profess his love for Dua Lipa and hop on any and every social trend in pop culture.
Hi there. You wanna go for a ride?
Listen up, chefs! Carmi's gone, so I brought in a new head chef. We play by his rules.
Introducing love language.
I don't understand a word he's saying.
Ojos es muy como el pezón de mi papa.
But most importantly, Duo did whatever it took to get you to do your lessons.
With the BBL.
What? It became this meme that Duo would haunt you or threaten you if you didn't do your lessons. They even went as far as to create a fake musical with their anthem. It's either Spanish or Vanish. Which was just one of tons of fake songs they made that were basically different translations of threats if you didn't do their lessons. We were used to seeing human content creators doing unhinged stunts like this, not an education app mascot. Like, what in tarnation? Duo would leave the most out-of-pocket comments, and they were actually so funny or relatable, so people really gravitated towards it. Duo was living in everyone's head rent-free, and everyone was obsessed. And it was all part of Duolingo's master plan. When you see an owl twerking on TikTok, the first thing that comes in mind is, oh, I haven't done my Duolingo today. This approach is driving a lot of engagement for us. It would transition people from doom scrolling apps to Hola, ¿cómo estás? 안녕하세요, no speaking English. This would take Duolingo's TikTok from just 66,000 followers to a whopping 17 million followers in just 4 years. Golly! Duo was dominating the scene as a cultural sensation, which would just bring in more users. They then launched an even more premium subscription, Duo Max, where it used AI so that you could practice conversations. Duolingo was thriving internally and externally. So in an attempt to keep going, Duolingo would pull off their biggest stunt yet. In February of 2025, Duolingo announced that Duo had tragically passed away. Millions of people and even corporations were commenting. Remember, bro ain't even real. They even finally got Dua Lipa to actually respond. And the most liked comment with over 60k likes was cause of death? The internet was so invested in Duo's death. I don't know if this was Duolingo's plan or if they just leaned into it, but they made an entire story out of Duo's death, as if they were trying to investigate and even release quote-unquote footage of Duo.
It is with heavy hearts that we inform you that Duo, formerly known as Duolingo Owl, is dead. They're investigating his cause of death. Dude,
being killed. Posting rewards for whoever can identify the driver. That's crazy. Shoot, they even literally sold custom coffins in memory of Duo.
We're monetizing grief because we are a corporation.
Are you serious right now? Vaughn himself even put out a statement.
It's Luis von Ahn, co-founder, CEO of Duolingo, otherwise known as Duo's daddy.
That's actually so
Duo's
funny.
daddy.
Because it was such a meme and culture that all Duo wanted was for you to complete your lessons, Duolingo started a campaign to revive Duo if people did their lessons. And they came through. And then they simply brought Duo back.
I took over a year off. Tell a friend to tell a friend. She's back.
Their stocks, user base, and social were higher than ever. But that would all change after one email. You would think after Duolingo's outlandish behavior that Duo would low-key get cancelled, but that wasn't actually why Duo went downhill. In April of 2025, Duolingo announced that they would be replacing their contract translating workers with AI, laying off several employees. Duolingo is going to be AI first. Betting on mobile made all the difference.
I mean, if you think about it, it is, I think, the good decision to make in a world where AI is becoming more useful. If you don't use AI, you're pretty much going to get left behind. So the approach that they took, I think, is a good one. Regardless of that people that lost their jobs, if you bet against AI, you're pretty much going to lose. One way or another, there's going to be some type of machine that just can't take over your job. But if you know how to use the machine, on the other hand, you got a secure job for at least many, many years to come. If you know how to fix the problems with AI, that's a job that you should try to get into. Don't know how or where.
We're making a similar call now, and this time the platform shift is AI. One of the best decisions we made recently was replacing a slow manual content creation process with one powered by AI. But Duolingo will remain a company that cares deeply about its employees. This move made sense if their AI was just as accurate, if not more, but users started noticing that something was off with AI Duolingo Max. I think Duolingo needs to do an English lesson. Why is Duolingo giving me Spanish words instead of German? That AI translation is really garbaje. People were constantly sharing examples of AI screwing up the app. It would have been one thing if people couldn't notice the AI update, but because there were so many bugs, people were turning not only from Duolingo, but also from Duo that was just resurrected. Had never deleted an app faster before. Thanks. My 2,276 day streak ends here. Abysmal dog poo-poo. The hate was flooding in the comments in all of their social medias. This tweet kind of summarizes how.
I mean, shit. I will take AI, but if it was fucking up like that, then you can't just take AI. You should have done it slower, if anything, because that just pretty much fucked up the whole app. If there's like bugs that are not accurate to like the language that you're trying to learn, then you're not really learning that language. So that was a massive mistake on the company's side. But I mean, eventually the AI is gonna get better and it's gonna recognize like what is wrong. So I think it's just a matter of time for people to kind of get used to it. Even though they lost a lot of people, there's still a good chance that they do good.
People felt. Duolingo laid off a huge percentage of their contract translators, and the remaining ones are simply reviewing AI translations to make sure they're acceptable. This is the world we're creating, removing the humanity from how we learn to connect with humanity. The backlash was getting out of hand, so much so that they removed all of their posts from their Instagram and TikTok accounts. The once hyperactive company went silent. Then they added this weird message in their bios. But of course, just a few days after, they would post this cryptic-ish video hinting at how they were going to respond.
I'm a part of Duolingo's social team, and it's time you all learn the truth. I've had it with the CEOs and those in power.
In which, in 2 days, the CEO, Vaughn, responded in their typical fashion. But now people weren't really having it.
So are there going to be any more humans left at this company?
Our employees are what make Duolingo so amazing. Our app is so great because our employees made it. Our social media presence is so funny and unhinged, not because I did that or because an AI did that, it's because our employees did. So we're going to continue having employees, and not only that, we're actually going to be hiring more employees. AI is a fundamental shift. It's going to change how we all do work, including me. And honestly, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I want us as a company to have our workforce prepared by really knowing how to use AI so that we can be more efficient with it.
I guess you could have your TikTok back for now.
I think Beyond the Mask is a robot controlled by AI. Is the CEO also AI? Real eyes, real eyes, real lies. How about real
You say that it's all about employees, but then lay off most of the staff, then it's really about the employees. You know, it's about keeping costs down on salaries. You don't have to pay them anymore because you can do the same amount of job with less people. I think it's smart, but I don't think he's saying it the right way. I think he's just kind of like trying to put it in a way that he doesn't get that much backlash from the media.
Employees' biggest downfall. Since then, as of July 23rd, they haven't gone a day without their top comments being about AI or their downfall. Not only that, but for the first time, they've started losing over hundreds of thousands of followers on their social media accounts, with their stocks also taking a significant dip. It's important to note that Duolingo overall is actually still succeeding. While their rep took a massive hit, their revenue is higher than ever, as well as their daily and monthly active users. I actually think Duolingo will bounce back. I think Vaughn just missed the framing of their AI announcement, as this is basically the direction every tech company is going towards. He also seems to be a nice guy that really focuses on having a healthy work environment that cares about their employees. They have some work to do in terms of improving their AI and maybe gamifying it a bit less, but I think as long as their platform improves, users will continue to be on it. But I'm not entirely sure how and if they'll be able to shift their internet perception back in their favor. What do y'all think? Will Duolingo make a comeback from this? Are people overhating?
I think it will 100% make a comeback just because it's one of the biggest apps for learning, and it's one of the kind of the only apps that makes it fun to learn, especially with the streak and like leaderboards. And just overall, learning on Duolingo, I've tried to learn a language on Duolingo, Portuguese. I stopped after like my streak was like 63, 64. I think it will definitely bounce back just because it's one of the biggest ones in the learning platforms for languages.